going to be the timer, and you will be the first speaker as well. I have some questions today, not fun questions, but some questions just to know a little bit about each other again. And everyone, please answer on the chat box. Whoever is talking, that person will answer directly. Okay? Deal? And Limi, first question. Okay. I'm just searching.
Butterflies started coming.
I'll give you the easiest one then. Okay. I think I know the answer also, but still I'll ask. If you had 1 free hour each day, what would you do? I'll reply on the chat box. All of you can reply your answers. Limi, your answer, please.
Free hour I would like to spend with my family.
Okay, great. I expected something else.
Workout.
Yeah.
That is actually in my routine. So that's not my
As a free hour, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you'll take 1 more hour to work out. So okay, I have responded.
Okay.
Let's
So
see.
shall I start with my topic?
Yes, please.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. I'm Limi. I'm a nutrition and wellness advisor. So today I'm going to talk from this book called The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success. It's a very small book, but it has lots of content in this. So today I'm going to cover the first law of success. It is called the law of pure potentiality. So what it says is we all know that we all have potential to do many things. We have potential to achieve whatever we want as human, right? But how will we able to know that we have that potential? Because everyone is not successful. We all have same potential, but everyone is not successful. So the author says that you have to experience the law of pure potentiality, and he says 3 ways, 3 methods of experiencing it. The first one is through silence and meditation. So if you go to the meditative mode, when you meditate, you will be still, you will be able to know yourself. So for getting success, you must know yourself. That is the first rule. So if when you go to meditation or when you are silent or still, you'll be able to be yourself and you'll be able to know yourself and get success. So he gives very good example here. So just imagine that you are standing near a lake or a river which is very still, it's not at all moving, and you just take a small piece of stone and throw into it, you will see the ripple, right? But at the same time, when you are standing on a beach or near a sea where the waves are moving, and you take a big stone and throw inside the sea, will you see any difference? Hardly no, right? Because it's already moving, and when you're putting something, nothing will happen. The same thing is with our mind. When it is still, when it is silent, when you are to yourself, when any good things come to you, you can grab it, you can absorb it. But at the same time, when your mind is disturbed, you don't know yourself, and any good things come, you will ignore it actually. So that is what you must be yourself. The next way is to stop judgmenting. As human, we have this nature of judging. This is good, this is bad, or right or wrong. So if you stop judging the things, you will automatically come into the stillness, and you will be able to achieve your success. And the third way is to spend time with nature. When we spend time with nature, when we see the trees, the birds, or the oceans, lakes, and all, we will also feel that we are also part of this nature. When these things are happening automatically, we as human have the great potential to achieve whatever we want. So we all have the potential, but we have to know and experience these things, then we will also get the success. So this is what I wanted to cover today. So I'll slowly cover all the other laws also in coming book clubs. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Limi. That was a great talk and great insights. I'm just thinking, do you meditate, Limi?
Yeah, me
Or
and Sam both.
I'm just thinking, how do you, I mean, I cannot. I have tried a couple of times and I'll be like, okay, where am I going with this? Where I feel I'm thinking more at that point of time when I'm consciously sitting and meditating. But I know it's a practice. right? I also have heard a good thing about meditation is not to keep your brains calm, it's to think what is necessary at that particular time, or what you want to do or progress. So I don't know, everyone has got their own take, so I like to take what it is. Thank you so much, Limi, and you'll be the timer. We have the next speaker, Ramesh, and Ramesh is going to talk about mother for Women's Day.
Uh, Good evening, everyone. Is it the same? Is that I'm also having a question over here?
Yes, yes, Ramesh. You
So
complete the topic and then I'll ask you the question. You've
I
taken
thought
a
of the
very
same question
sensitive.
would be repeated to me.
No, no, I'll ask you something else. So you've
Okay, great.
taken a really sensitive and emotional topic. So let's finish the topic and then I'll ask you some fun questions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Once again, a very good evening uh, to everyone. First of all, belated Mother's Day wishes to everyone out here. It was supposed to be covered in the last week itself. I was not able to make it up because of some technical glitch. The topic, the one which I would like to talk on is right now is everyone's favorite topic, irrespective of whether we are human or any other living beings. Also, everyone, every living being in the world love this topic like anything. So it's none other than our own mother. So recently we celebrated Mother's Day. Yes, from since long ago, still date now also, mother is been a highly deserved and most precious gift to every one of us since we born onto earth. She's a friend. She's a philosopher. She's like in and out everything, and the only person in the world who works 24/7 without having any expectation from us. It's none other than mother. There are many poets, many literatures, many high scholars had a great imagination, great thoughts, great books written on the mother. But we no need to do that much great things right now. The only thing what we can do, as we are staying in home right now, most of us, let's give her time to talk to her and let's understand what exactly she is more uh, interactively. So to do that, recently started going a walk, going out with her by morning and half an hour walk with her. I'm trying to understand what exactly she is and what is her thoughts about day in day out. I'm just trying to understand these things. Finding a new friend in my mother itself. I can say that because there are a lot of talks, a lot of things I'm sharing with her. There is a one famous proverb in Kannada. ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಬಟ್ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ತಾಯಿ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಇರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. It means that there might be a bad children but there will not be a bad mother at all. So similarly, there is one more great saying about mother is that in a Kannada, again it is by Ravi Belagere, one of the famous journalists. uh, ನಿನ್ನ ತಾಯಿನ ನೀನ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೋ, ಬದುಕು ನಿನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. It means that if you take care of your mother, definitely life will take care of yourself. So that's a lot of great things. It is just not a saying. If you really understand and look into the reality, life is always a heaven for us. So that's it from my. Thank you.
Wow. Good talk, Ramesh. I mean, really great quotations also. I'm not a very emotional person, but still I liked it. And I think a lot of us can relate to being friends with mother, or being very close to them and sharing. I mean, I think our bond actually improves after a certain point in your life, right? Rather than as kids, uh, we create that bond with our mother, especially after our teenage or when we start sharing things with them. So, yeah, good talk. Thank you so much. And I have a question, and you have to be little witty and funny, okay? Because you made all of us emotional right now. And what is one of the useless superpower you have right now? The useless superpower.
Useless,
All of you respond on the chat box, please.
useless.
Uh, Ramesh is still thinking. Use
I'm really not.
superpower. Okay.
This
Yeah.
is a very
Prafula says
difficult question,
anger.
actually.
Prafula says
I can say
anger.
I can say I used to use a word in between when I was talking. So I think that's a
That's your
useless.
superpower.
Not sure. Probably I need to
I think someone said, okay, overthinking.
overthinking.
Option says it.
Overthinking is getting day by reduced after reading a lot of books, a lot of insights.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but I'll try to get back. But I don't think anything is a useless power. Everything can be used in a better way if how
Okay.
we take the perspective.
I
can
told you to be little witty, Ramesh. Ayo,
I'm
you
not able
meant
to
this
figure
also
out.
serious. Okay, my useless superpower is my brains is so good. I forget like people so quickly. I don't know if it is superpower, but I forget.
Super duper
So,
power, actually.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Okay.
fine.
And please do not judge. We have our next speaker, Bashir. Are you there? Do we have Bashir? Sam? I don't see him.
Bashir, no, he has not joined. No,
Okay. Prafula?
Prafulla is there.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
ma'am. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to speak about how Buffett does it. It's a book, it's a small book which tells about a few very simple principles of investing in the stock market. Why I choose this book? Because during Women's Day special, I read a lot of articles on LinkedIn where women are not investing much in stock markets. They're always dependent on their men counterparts, brother, father, friend, and husband, all of that. So this book is really very helpful, which is just any common man can read and understand principles of the stock market. So there are about for 24 simple investing strategies by James Parrott. I'm going to give a few tips from the first chapter. So the first, quickly I'll tell about this. So Warren Buffett reveals a proven get rich slow method. That's a that's his principle. That's his principle. Getting rich, but in a slow method. So what he highlights is in the first chapter is choose simplicity over complexity. So keep it very simple. So what he says is don't think about the mathematical formulas. Don't think that you need an stock market broker. You need an stock market expert professional. You need an MBA degree or anything. So just think of our grandmothers or think about our grandfathers itself who would have run businesses and made huge profits. They had a simple, very simple motto was like to have that passion about the business what they're doing, and they used to invest and they used to reap a lot of results from it. So he says that just believe in the stock in the business which you're investing. So, say I'm interested in investing in commodities or agricultural products. So I should be passionate about that and know about that company is very ethical and has a very transparent dealing in its management, and you believe in that value system, invest in that company. Don't go by the market trend at all. He says that you understand the business, you invest it. That is one. And the other tip what he says is he bought shares when the stock market is selling them in discount. So that was his most important tip that made him grow rich at this level. So these are the things. I'll just quickly brief up the three main tips from the first chapter. Always keep it simple. Make your own investment decisions. Study the man Buffett studied under. So this one point I just want to highlight. Buffett got to know about the stock market principles by Benjamin Graham, where Benjamin Graham quotes that you do not have to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. So we can still be simpler, ordinary, and achieve extraordinary results. Thank you.
Thanks, Prafula. That's, I mean, I think intellectual talk. I really do not understand about stocks. Like you said, I think I mean, at least I am very far from stocks and shares and all this. But yeah, thank you so much for that. Sam, do you want to take it over from here?
Yes, Tasin, thank you very much. Probably, yeah, we did not ask question to Prafulla, right? So probably I
Yes.
will ask one question to Prafulla.
Yes.
Okay, Prafulla, here is a question. Have you ever met a famous personality? If yes, what have you done?
Famous personality.
Mm. If you meet a famous personality, so what would you do? What have you done?
Yeah, I met Kiran Bedi. Actually, Kiran Bedi had come for our office on Women's Day special during Thomson Reuters, and I was like always very key. What do you say? I'm very inspired by Kiran Bedi during my childhood because my dad always used to say you have to become an IAS officer and give example of Kiran Bedi. And I obviously I didn't become IAS officer, but I was like so surprised that I was in charge of organizing that event from Women's Network, and I could interact with her so closely from the organizing the event till she presented her talk in a session, and she left to Delhi. And that was very inspiring. I took autograph, like the huge mad rush. Even guys were inspired to attend the session. Sorry, I'm telling more, but it was jam packed with all women. That is all I want to say.
Okay.
Thank
Great,
you.
good, yeah.
Thank you for this question.
Lucky you, right? Okay, you got a right question again. So good stuff. Okay, guys. So let me introduce. I think not myself. It's about the book club actually. So most of them know me. My name is Sam. I work for one of the MNC in Bangalore, close to 17 years in the corporate, and we run this book club with the help of other group of people actually. So if new people who are attending the workshop, sorry, the book club for first time. So we are a group called as Peak Impact Mentorship, PIM. It is based out in Bangalore. So we are into coaching and mentoring people and also helping people in different walks of life. So we have our health wing, we have our coaching, mentoring, and all those stuffs actually. So probably if you need more details about it, we can talk about it one-to-one, but that's the base of it. This is headed by one of my mentor. His name is Vijay Kumar Kandala. He's from IIT Madras, pass out, and he's a Tony Robinson and John C. Maxwell certified coach. So he's passionate about coaching and mentoring people. That's how we started this community called as PIM, and that is this book club is part of that. And we have nearly 35 book clubs running at the same time in a different time zones, in a different locations, and we have more than 3,000 people attending these book clubs now. So each book club is headed by one of other people like me and Tasin and only me, who's part of that PIM and from a long time. So that is how we split. So when the numbers become more in the book club, so we split together so that we can accommodate more people. So that's how we started with one and we reached somewhere around 35 now. So it's still growing. So our main motto is to give inculcate book reading habits in people, bring up them in the public speaking in whichever way we can. It's not that we are doing like a Toastmaster or something like that, but at least we can make this a small platform for people to come out of that fear of speaking, reading, and all those stuffs. Right, that's basically the background of it, but we can talk offline in case we require more individual information about it. So by that, I think we have a lot of new people have joined as well this week, so I thought of introducing themselves as well. So when I unmute you, please give your name, where you're from, probably what you're doing, occupation, and probably if you're reading any book, or if you're a reader, or if you're not a reader, just a quick 1 minute introduction about yourself, taking the time into consideration. So we need to complete by 10. So we have 20 minutes time given to Ramesh as well for speed reading. So let me bring up first, I think Veena, if you can introduce yourself. I think you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hi, good evening all.
Evening. Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Veena Sanoj from Chennai. Yeah, I'm a housewife, an artist as a painter. Yeah, and mother of 2 kids. Yeah. And about me, I can tell that reading is not my hobby. Reading is my passion. It is my passion and it is my life. Books are my life. I can tell that because it brought me so many places, took me so many places, so many visions. I can tell that now I am here. I'm here today. I did so many exhibitions of painting inside India and abroad also. But all the reasons I can tell that because of reading only, I'm doing this painting, because in by profession, I did my MBA from Bangalore University and ICWI from Mumbai, but I'm not into this. I came to the magic world of painting. The beautiful world of reading brought me to accomplishing my passion for painting. It helped me a lot of visualizing my, perception to the canvas, that, whatever I read more. Before that, I can tell that 10 years back, I was used to read novels, comics, all those things, mostly novels of famous authors and novels and all. But right now I'm standing with spiritual books. I can tell that the most inspired book, I can tell that autobiography of a yogi, of Paramahamsa Yogananda. So that's the, maybe I can tell that that's the life-changing moment for me. For now, I am here. That's about me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Veena. I think most of them should get inspired, by you actually, because as you said, it should become a passion. That's where you can get more out of it. So if you're just reading it for a hobby, probably after some time you will quit. So that's just for sure. Great. Welcome, Veena. Welcome to the book club. You're studying it the first time. So thank you very much. And I have one more person. I think Priya. Priya, if you can unmute yourself and introduce. So if you can give your name, where you're from, and what do you do?
Okay. I am Priya Aski. Aski is my surname. Last name. So I am Priya Aski. I am from Bangalore. So introduced by Ramesh Shetty. Thanks for that. And then thanks you on the group who have added this to this group. So I am actually a soft skill trainer, soft skill product and sales. Even I take aptitude classes also. So basically like corporate trainer, I am into certified corporate trainer. And I love to read books. And I used to read lots of books, but due to like now family commitments and then career pressure as well. So now I just go through some blogs, videos, and then discuss with friends who are spiritual, like Anuradha. See, Anuradha is here. She is my friend. Okay. So we just discuss all these things. She reads and then she tells me. Otherwise, I just watch some videos and all. We discuss those things. This is what like I love to discuss, and then I love to be with this kind of group. Great. So this is what my introduction is.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Priya. So probably you landed with a like-minded people probably. So I think we want to hear more from you about books actually. So we just have one, what is the limitation is that, we want to hear from the books actually, because otherwise the book club theme would go out of the picture. So anything if you're reading, probably you can pick up this week and probably discuss in the next book club we're coming on. So you'll have 4 minutes to present yourself in the next book club in case if you're okay to go ahead at that. Okay, great. So welcome to the group, Priya. So I think Anuradha also we can introduce then. Anuradha, you there? We can start off.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
And good evening, everybody. My name is Anuradha. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. And I stay in Bangalore, born and brought up in Bangalore, and I have my practice set up in Bangalore right now. And when it comes to books, I would say that I don't remember the first speaker name here. She was talking about stillness. I say that books for me is, pocket of stillness. If there is any point in my life where I feel that I needed stillness, I always look to books, and books have been superb companion to me. And I've been a reader since my childhood, though not frequently. And COVID made me even start writing blogs. So sometimes the books whichever I was able to read in the past 1 year, I've kind of written blogs on them. So reading is always fun, reading is always good. And I think books always help in knowledge transfer. What knowledge one has acquired or what knowledge one has, was able to articulate through his, what knowledge books a writer is able to articulate, books can carry forward that knowledge to the posterity. So I believe books have major role in everyone's life, irrespective of whether you're a reader or non-reader. I say that one or the other day, even non-reader would become a reader. And thank you, Priyaski Akka. It's because of her that I was able to get in touch with this group, and I'm glad I'm here and happy to read and share and get to know other point of views as well. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anuradha. I think, yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
I think we want to learn more from you. That is one more thing I want to say. So we were looking out for those kind of people. I think everybody is like, avid readers, actually, people who joined today. So thank you very much for joining. So welcome to the group.
Yes.
And yes, as I said, yeah, from next week onwards, you want to pick up a book and start sharing. You will have 4 minutes to share. So you can go out and share that, and probably inspire others also to read. Actually, there are I think some 60 people are there in the group actually, and we see only 20 people joining every week. So only reason being, they wanted to read, but somehow probably something is stopping them, or they're not passionate or whatever. So once we see people doing more stuff in this group, then probably, as you said, every person will become a reader one day, definitely. So that is our goal as well, right? Thank you very much, Anuradha. Thanks for joining. So we have another person, I think, Anurup, you want to introduce yourself?
Good evening, all. I'm from Kerala. So I have around 14 years of experience in finance domain in various MNCs. So right now, 6 years I'm here in Trivandrum. Before that, I worked in Bangalore, Chennai, etc. So I've been in many places in my career. So
do you read books or no? Not yet started.
Yeah. Actually, I like reading books. Mainly, I read self-improvement books.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
Books which I've read is written by Robin Sharma, The Monk Who Sold Ferrari. Like.
Okay. Great book.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful.
Yeah. So I like reading magazines, then newspapers and all. That's
Great.
what I read.
Okay, welcome, Anurup. So I think, yeah, probably you can also start reading more books and start presenting here. So that will help both of us actually. We can also learn from you. So great stuff. So let me look at anybody else we have. I think Prafulla. I think somebody called Niranjana also, right? Niranjana, if you can introduce yourself quickly. Niranjana Ravi, right? Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Go ahead, Niranjana. We can hear you.
Sir, I'm Niranjana from Rulpet. I'm a student. I'm an engineering student. I'm studying in Dr. Magalingam College of Engineering. I won't read frequently books. Up to schooling, I learned the only school books. I'm trying to read novels nowadays.
Okay, great. Fine, Niranjana. So we are more into self-help books, Niranjana. So the book club is more of self-help, probably spiritual, not getting into religious, but spiritual as well, which can give us some concept-wise helpful to the people actually. So probably if I can send you some books, or you can ask Tamrai to share some books which you can read from there. Great. Okay, we have Vinuta, who's a new person. Huh? Vinuta, you want to introduce yourself? Yep.
Thank you, sir. A very good evening to one and all present here. My name is Vinuta. I'm from Mysore, Karnataka. Currently, I'm staying in Mysore since last week. So I would like to introduce myself. So I'm from Mysore. For past 6 years, I have worked as sports video data analyst, and also I have worked for Unnati, that is an non-profit organization. And from March 8th, I have started my employment with ICA EduSkills in Bangalore. So currently I'm working as a retail trainer. So my hobbies are reading books, music. I also take music classes online, and I'll do some sketches, and I also play instrument veena.
Okay.
So yeah, I am interested to read books since childhood, but my interest started growing more recently. All thanks to my friend Sunil Dange. He is also a new entry for this club. So he suggested me two important books, that is Rich Dad, The Business of the 21st Century, where this book talks about how the US people they suffered due to what is that economic crisis, and it also highlights how one person have to shift their mindset from the first two quadrant, so that they can shift their mindset from being employee or just being the small business into an independent investors.
Great.
So and also this reading books also what is that it led me to do a summarize. Like I started reading books, and again I started that for every chapter I was supposed to summarize that chapter. So meanwhile, I also improved my vocabs. So all thanks to Sunil Dange. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Priya Aski, who introduced me for this platform. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So okay. So I think Sunil also is a newcomer, right? So probably Sunil, you can also introduce. I think you're the last person to introduce. You can go ahead.
Yeah, Sanjosh, thank you very much. Thank you for this platform and this opportunity.
Your voice is very feeble, Sunil.
Okay.
Not...
Am I audible now?
Yeah, this is better. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So thank you, Sanjosh, for this platform and for this opportunity. I give this good wishes to this platform. So you are doing a wonderful job. So hello everyone, my name is Sunil Dange. I'm speaking from Pune. I'm a mechanical engineer and I'm working as a soft skill trainer in skill development industry. So about books, yes, I read book because it's one of the habit of all the highly successful people. And I read somewhere readers are the leaders. So I'm the one who will be the aspiring leader. So thank you very much, and I really glad to be thankful here. So I would like to thank to Priya Aski who introduced me on this platform, and all the great leader with the association this book club is going on. So back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sunil. So welcome to the group. Actually, yeah. So we have good readers on the platform now. So good stuff. So I think as good. Thank you very much for Ramesh and other people who are introducing more people into the group. So we will bring up Ramesh Krishnan actually. So who is actually a Toastmaster guy, as well as his niche is actually to do the speed reading. So he's developing some courses in speed reading as well. So I thought of asking him to. He has been part of book club from quite some time, so asking him to give some nuggets about how to do the speed reading. I think most of the more avid readers probably would have already explored those things, but people who are not reading, people like me, Tehseen and other, will get a lot of benefit out of it, who are not, too much into reading, but still, yeah. So you can go there. So Ramesh, over to you, Ramesh.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you all for book readers. How many? I believe all are excited, isn't it? Okay, start with that. How many of you love reading books? Only a few people. Okay. How many of you, when reading books, you will get into sleep? No one. Wow, great. Good to hear about it. And how many books have you read in the last month? One, two. Okay, good, great. But when you use this technique, which I am going to deliver to you today, you can read 4 books in a month. And also once you started reading books, definitely it will help you out and you can review it as well. First thing, when it becomes to the speed reading, what is the purpose? Point number 1, what is the purpose? Why you want to read it? There will be several aspects for each and everyone. For few people, there will be for the self-improvement, they need to improve them. For example, if you need to be in financial, good, Think and Grow Rich, The Richest Man in Babylon, these books will help. Rich Dad and Poor Dad, these books will help you a lot. For meditation, there are many books available. For personal development, there are a lot of books available. So everyone has a desire, even for the students, they need to get a good marks in their education. Everyone has to have a desire and a purpose why they need to have it. Everyone have the desire? Have you noted down what is your desire? Good, great. Number 2, power of preview. How many of you are doing exercise every day? Good. Before doing exercise, what you will do?
Warm up.
Great,
Warm up.
good.
Warm up.
Yes. See, for exercise, we are doing the warm up. But while reading the book, the warm up is definitely an important and key factor. I'll tell you how it will really works. Our mind is a very important one, as well as our eye. When you started reading a book, first you have to go to the summary, what it is mentioned in the front page and the back page. And also, for example, if you're going to read half an hour today, just skim it everything, how you can do it. No need to reading, just skim it what is available. So if you do that, for the maximum 5 minutes is sufficient. When you do in that way, your mind will focus what you are going to read it. So the distractions will be completely avoided while you're going through this aspect. Review is completely important point. Your eye and brain will correlate together and you can read. And also when you read it, you will able to recall it very faster as well. So that is a very prime factor of review, which is a very good point. Number 3, mindset. Mindset is a key important point because everyone start of reading it, but they won't sustain it throughout the year. The problem is they don't have the right mindset, because if you want to read it, you have to accommodate 30 minutes in a day. I'm not talking about either in the morning or evening or night. It depends upon your situation, because some will go to the night shift, some will be in the morning. So whichever it suits you, definitely you can go for it. So always do the best of reading it every day, 30 minutes. Minimum 30 minutes is perfect. And you need to do it around, if you do that for 60 days, definitely it will help you a lot, and you can't forget to read. Is it clear till now what I have told? Perfect. Great. And number 4, how many of you know Monolab? Have you heard about Monolab? Great. It is the Einstein lab. Einstein, who developed a lab where he had a patent of more than 1,000 inventions. So you need to select a place where you are going to read it, because that is primarily important. Also reading, it needs some special techniques, like you want to sitting pose and you have to read it perfectly. In that way only your mind is able to recall and recollect everything what you are reading it. That is prime aspect of it. And number 5, now we are going to start off the speed reading techniques. First, I'll tell you how you have to read it. There is a difference between normal reading and speed reading. First, you need to know what is a normal reading. The way you read it, for example, take a book, choose a timer for 1 minute, and select how many lines you are able to read. Multiply that and you will get it around 100 to 150 words. If you are getting around 100 to 200 words, it is called as normal reading. The problem is our teachers are cultivated in our mind that slow reading and speaking aloud is really better for us. But our mind is able to do it everything first. Because for an example, if you're going through motorbike in a road, when a car is passing you, definitely everyone who is riding the motorcycle, they always feel to go faster than the car, isn't it? So that's how the mind is really works faster, but we are not able to identify how much the potential our mind is having it. So first you have to identify that one. First you take the book, for example, any books. Are you able to see my book? Is it clear? Visible? Okay. So you take it at normal speed, make a timer for 1 minute. So if you take if you're reading able to this, from this to this 1 minute, multiply it, and you know how much is your reading speed. So once you know the reading, how much your reading speed, fix it the time, and then I will tell you what you have to do it. So normally how we will read is, we will read word by word, right? We will read word by word. But now what I am suggesting you is read 2 words simultaneously. Instead of 1 word, read 2 words simultaneously. When you're starting first, definitely you will get headache and your mind will disturb you a lot, because your mind, you already have that inner like, no, it is not possible for us, because our mind will always go for the fear factor. It should be a risk factor, what we have to have it. So always go with the 2 words first. So you read 2 words at a time, definitely you can improve a lot. You read 2 words and then set a timer for 1 minute and check it out how many words you can able to read it. Definitely it will help you a lot. Once you started doing this, definitely you can able to read a book within a day also. Okay, perfect. Now we know this is a 1 step what I'm teaching you. There are several steps. So I will finish it with this 1 step. So start reading 2 words at a time and go for it. Another problem is, okay, you have started reading a book and you can go for it. How many of you can remember the book which you read it last time? Why? What is the problem? Apart from 3 people, why? What is the problem? Because the recalling power which we have is a problem for us. So what I'm suggesting you is, for example, if you're reading for 10 minutes, you stop it, just try it out, recollect what you have read it, because that's how you can improve your comprehensive. The purpose of reading a book is to improve your comprehensive. So once you started doing that, definitely you can take a lot of things from the single book and it will help you a lot. For example, I read this Shoe Dog book from Phil Knight. This book is an amazing book for an entrepreneur. He is a guy who is a Nike founder. Even the Adidas and Puma is very much bigger in the market. This guy came and rocked the market. But you know how much the suffer he had it and what are the problems he faced it. I can able to recollect it, because after 10 minutes, you have to recall it. If it's not possible for you to recollect for after 10 minutes, after 30 minutes, try to recall it. Whatever you are able to recollect it, just note it down. If you know mind map, that is the best tool if you can go for it. If you need for that also, I can make it for the next time, how we can do it. So this is a prime factor, you have to do it. Recall everything, whatever you are reading, then definitely it will help you a lot about how we can do it. How many of you love for challenge? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great, good. Shall we go with for 7 days challenge? Good, good, okay. Starting from tomorrow, try to read 2 words at a time. But before reading, you have to preview the book, what are the pages you are going to read it. So do it from starting from next day. So we'll try it out on the next week, how many books or how many chapters you are able to read and how much is your comprehensive and recalling effect. Because that is the prime factor when we are going to do that. It is really important one. Everyone agree? Good. Okay, from tomorrow onwards, I will post a video, how much I have read it, what is I have recalled it. So I want everyone has to be participate actively. Is it okay for you all? Good. Thank you. Thanks to all. Over to you, Sanjosh.
Tomorrow when you reach office, you should not tell I don't have time, so you should post it. So that's a common buzzword in the market now. So no time, I'm busy. So one of my friend was telling Sam, I need to clone myself to do my work. So that's what the people's self-talk nowadays is. So anyways, I don't know, probably they have genuinely they have work also. I'm not kidding them. So probably they have work, because if I don't have work doesn't mean that others don't have work. So probably it's there. Okay, good stuff. So we had Tamarai also. Probably Tamarai, we have you. Tamarai, you want to go ahead? I didn't see him.
Hi, Sam.
You have to ask him a question, Sam.
Yeah.
Okay, let him start off with. Yeah, you can start off with the talk. So probably we'll ask question later.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Ramesh Krishnan, for giving us the speed reading techniques. We jump into my topic today. So I'm going to cover a chapter from the Rich Dad Poor Dad, the third chapter, Mind Your Own Business. So this is pretty simple. It's just a 1 minute story. So there was a McDonald founder, all of you know what business he's doing. Anyone can answer from the crowd?
Real estate. Real estate business.
Except
I've read that books couple of
I know
times.
Sam would have read hundreds of times. Except Sam, anyone else guess what is McDonald and what is the McDonald founders does?
Burger business, no? I think everybody knows it. So he makes good burger straight.
Okay. So he have been called for an university speech, and after the speech, the students basically from the Texas University, Austin University students, after the great speech, the students, they have called out for a hangout, and during the hangout, he asked this question to the students. So people have laughed and they said, you're from you're good at hamburger business and so on. Then with the great laugh, he said, no, my prime business is the real estate. I'm not the hamburger business is the byproduct or a additional business of my base business. So likewise, but nobody realized it. At this point in time, he is the single owner who's having a largest real estate in the world. Even the Christian charity churches and other things, they don't own such a real estate what he is owning. So how he is made is to make a business, he need a place or the franchisee. So for all the franchisees, how we need to identify the land, the location, the manpower, and basically we classify the location into the A center, B center concepts, right? So he from all the perspective in all the countries, all the cities, all the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities, and all the corners, even in the US, if you see in the hot corners, and even if you go to the underdeveloped countries corners, most of the places he have a real estate, but nobody knows it, but he's making a money out of it. So basically he have not worried about what the other people are thinking. He's not trying to sell or market his business, what he's into. Generally, even before reading this book, even I am in the impression that he is only into the making a hamburger, or is just into the hotel industry or a hospitality industry. But he's having entirely a different mindset and the business plan. Knowing about others and or what other people should know about you is not really your business. You just mind your business. That will take you to a different level. So the one-liner is mind your own business. So you have to decide what is your own business. So that will take you to the next level of your life. That's all from my end, team.
Thank you, Tamarai. So Tessin, you can go ahead with the questions. What is that for Tamarai?
That was a great example. I think, yeah, we all love burgers, so we could actually concentrate, focus, and listen. Good strategy. And question, okay. Tamarai and everyone will respond on the chat box as well. This is the last question and we'll close the session, I think. Sam, are we done? Is this a closure of the session? You are still there? Okay. I'm sorry, I forgot you. Okay, Tamarai, question for you is, which fictional place would you like to visit? Like, you must have seen a lot of fictional places, right? Ramesh, you want to answer this? Yes, you can answer.
Okay, I will
Before
tell you. Actually, I will tell you it is not a fictional place. When I was 6, I used to go and play with my neighbor's farm. There is a well, and there is a person basically 2-3 years elder than me, the person who told me a story. It was kind of a fiction story. First time I ever heard the fiction story. In the same day night, he have developed probably 2 reels of the story. In the whole midnight, I got the entire 16 reel story in my mind. So something like I went to a well, there is a hole. If I turn the hole, it will take me to a sea. There is a big whale in it, and there is a different world in it. So that story goes on and on and on. Even after 25-30 years, still I remember the story, and it is completely imaginary story where one of my friend have seeded, and in my dream I developed the story, and still I remember it.
Tamara, you should patent it, okay? My humble suggestion.
Sure, thank you.
We could actually get into the imagination up until whale. After that, you
Actually,
have to.
I have a habit something when somebody is speaking, I will imagine the thing what they're speaking. Let's say you're talking about a pond with the well or something. When you're talking, somehow I will imagine something, some picturization will come in my mind. Not the technical terms. When you're talking about the naturalistic stuff, this comes.
Yeah, understood. I think women has the greatest power of imagination as well. Just piece of information.
Yeah.
You are
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Nice. Okay, Sam, it's you.
Thank you very much. I have 4 minutes to go, so thank you very much, guys. So it was wonderful, listening to a lot of people, as well as speed reading techniques, and a lot of new joiners who have gave little more faith for me to run this book club for a longer time, because I have some good book readers in the team now. The good stuff. So I was reading this book called Awaken the Giant Within. I think you would have heard about this author called as Anthony Robinson or Tony Robinson, whatever it is, right? So, and because I was preparing for a workshop, so I'm going to conduct a workshop for some of the students in some place in Kerala, actually. So about belief. So I was just going through some of the books about belief, and very good nuggets what I can bring it from there. Probably that is one thing which is stopping us in everybody's life. So if what most of the author says is a personal breakthrough begin through a change in belief. Actually, whoever has achieved whatever they've achieved in the in their particular life, example, if they've won the corporate job, or probably they have won the business, or if you're a sport person, or maybe if you're a spiritual guru, or whatever they've achieved significantly in their life, is only because they changed their belief at a certain point of time. Example, if I take about health, somebody who was fat thought of reducing the weight, is only because they started believing that they can reduce the weight. That is how the change happens. So the beliefs change, the change happened, and achieved something success. And how does that beliefs change, actually? So how we can intentionally change the belief? The Anthony Robinson says so whatever we do in our life, whatever we do in our life, we do for two things, actually. One thing is we want to come out of the pain of whatever we are going through. That is why we think of changing the belief. Or we have a desire to gain the pleasure. That is the two things why we actually change in our life. So if these two things are not associated, probably we will not change anything. But if you want to come out of one pattern of belief to another pattern of belief, so probably the bad pattern, the belief which is not helping you, you need to associate a lot of pain into it. That is where you can come out of that pattern and then get into associates a lot of pleasure into it. Then you can achieve that particular belief. So let me take an example of what the belief what you have today, and how we can utilize that for your the next upcoming belief as well. Example, why I'm telling upcoming is, so right now whatever belief you have today, probably it is not helping you. For some of them it is helping, some of them is not helping. If it is not helping you, but still you're holding on to it, so what is a belief basically? So basically belief is some you gathered something from some or other reference points. Example, if somebody told you, okay, you should sleep for 8 hours, you will make sure you will sleep for 8 hours. It's actually a limiting belief. Actually, human being do not require 8 hours of sleep, but you still think that, okay, I require 8 hours of sleep. That is a belief what you've developed because book says, maybe some doctor told you, or maybe your mom and dad told you, if you don't sleep, you will get this black eyes or whatever, you'll not look good, and all those stuffs you have in your mind, and then you started sleeping 8 hours. But actually 8 hours is not required. That is one of the limiting beliefs. So probably It could be anything else. Maybe if for women, somebody in the olden days told that you are not the person who should ride the vehicle, or you should not become an engineer, or you should not become a doctor. And over a period of time, all those things came out, and somebody believed that we can become a doctor or we can become an engineer and things like that, and started studying and things like that. That is a belief change in happening. So now when you can hold on to some belief which is not helping you, probably opinion or a belief or a conviction what you have, which is not helping you from a long time, and you can hold on to it. Some of them have this conviction about religious things also, right? Some of them have conviction where they're ready to kill somebody also. Example, if somebody opposes them, they're like, no, why, how can you tell that? No, this is what we are doing from historically from so many years, and this is the truth. Although probably it may not the truth, but they stand still on it, that have that conviction. So those kind of conviction, if you can bring to the positive side of your life. Example, when you are going through a bad phase of life and you're limiting beliefs, whatever belief what you have, and it is not helping you to come out of that particular stage of life. So if you have a different belief, if you can inculcate into your life and you put same effort into that belief, then it can take off. Actually, the problem now is you're not able to break that pattern and get into a different pattern of life. That is because you have too many reference point in your on your belief. Actually, probably, as I said, if somebody is a fat guy, and if he has the entire the entire family is fat, and he thinks that, okay, my entire hereditary is fat, so I will not be able to reduce my weight. That is his belief. So now he has a lot of reference point. He will go back to 5 generations, then everybody is fat, so I will also be fat, I cannot lose weight. So his reference point is so strong that he's not able to break that pattern. Example, you can take about diabetics. Actually, so diabetes says that, okay, your grandfather, your great family, everybody had diabetes, and you will also get diabetes. Now the belief, if you have very strong, you will eat everything whatever you want. Anyways, I'll get diabetes, let me eat everything and enjoy my life. So why should I bother about it? Because you're having that belief. So when your reference points are too much, so you will not be come out of it. Actually, so now you need to go back and ask some valid questions to you. So whether the reference point what you have been gathered in your mind to know, I know to go with that belief, is it helping you in your life? Example, if somebody has a heredity for a fat, is actually as per the hereditary, or maybe as per the science, are you able to lose weight or not? So we'll be able to do that, because if hereditarily everybody are fat, you will also be a fat there. So if everybody had diabetes in your family, if according to science, whether it is proved that you will also get diabetes, not like that, nothing like that. So when you ask some valid question, you will be able to change that pattern. That also has to come through when if you have too many reference point, you will never be able to change that pattern. You will always try to defend yourself. And sometimes your belief can get into a conviction side of it. Example, belief, conviction is much more than the belief, right? So you are having too many reference points that you, as I said, you'll be ready to kill somebody, right? So if somebody opposes you, saying that, hey, why are you telling that? I am doing it for so many years and this is the truth, and you cannot oppose that. And there are a lot of people in political parties or maybe religious, people do that actually. So what you have to do is ask valid question. Why, if I'm believing something, is that belief truth or not? So ask questions. So this is what actually this NLP coach or life coach, all those things, when you pay them 30,000-40,000 or lakh rupees, what they do is nothing. They don't give you a solution. They make you think about your belief. They ask you certain questions where you will be or what is a mandatory, you become abide to answering those questions. But when you start answering those questions, you yourself get to know that, okay, whatever belief I had, or a perception I had, or an opinion I had, or a conviction I had about something in my life is completely wrong, and I have to get into a new way of thinking and new way of belief. What I to get into, that is where you break the pattern. So challenge here is it's not possible for you to break a pattern for most of them unless you are intentional about your growth. You may require external support. That is where the coaching industry or mentoring industry or the spiritual industry is growing today. It's only because of the limitation what human being has. You are not able to break your pattern to get into a next layer of belief. Just like Sadhguru says, right? So one of the inner engineering program, he says, whenever you think something, you want to talk something, you think yourself as a two entity. So you are one and your entity is saying, ask him, okay, whether you're going to do now is correct or not. If the other entity says from their angle saying it is wrong, you should not be uttering this word, you should not be uttering this word. So unless you break that pattern quickly and understand that, then talk about it, then you'll be able to achieve your belief. So he says that, so if you have opinion, it is very easy to break it. If you have a belief, it's a little bit okay, you can break the pattern. But if you have a conviction about something, it is very difficult to come out of it. You will be stubborn on those things, saying that no, this is what my grandmother told, and this my great grandmother told, and I'm going to do this whatever I'm supposed to do, and I'm not going to change from there. So that is what happening in this world. I think I can narrate this story, and probably I don't vividly remember the story, saying that somebody was frying the fish in the pan, and so whenever what you say, then you fry the fish, they cut the head and the tail and they fry the fish. And the daughter went and asked, I don't know exactly what the story is, the daughter went and asked the mother, so why are you frying like this, why are you cutting why can't you fry the entire fish together? I want the entire fish to eat. And the mother told, my mother told me this is how you fry the fish, that is what I'm doing. And she went to grandmother and asked, why did you do that? Grandmother told, my mother told, this there. And but grandmother is not there, so she asked, where did great grandmother get it from? So her mother also told the same thing. So only problem was, in the olden days, the pan was so small that they have to cut the fish and put it. It's not that they're not supposed to fry the entire fish. If you have a big pan, fry the entire fish or 2-3 fish together, there is no problem at all. But the problem was, they did not ask the question, why are you frying? They did not ask the question, they did not change the pattern. They went with those beliefs, saying that what it is, right? I think I saw one of the the post in Facebook actually recently, I remembered as well. So one lady talking about cutting the vegetable and talking about in a slant way. She's cutting the beans in a slant way and saying that, okay, this is not a cookery show. This is what I show. This is how my mother was cutting, and in my entire family, everybody cuts the beans like this. And says that, why are you cutting it? They don't have answer for it, but they got it that hereditary from all the predecessors. Basically, your grandmother, great grandmother, everybody was cutting like this. And she told, I changed my pattern. I'm going to cut in the different way and eat it, whether I see whether it will taste or not. And she cooked, and she read the summary saying it was the same taste. There is nothing difference in that. So that is how the belief, conviction, or the opinion comes into picture. So we have gathered so many things in our mind with the reference point from here and there, and we are just executing that as our belief. So this is what we have. I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I'm not good at speaking, I'm not good at vocabulary, I'm not good at training. So this is my belief. I cannot go in car, I cannot drive a car. Everything they are gathered, it's because from a reference point, somebody told you, you became like that, right? So it's something like that. No, in a childhood, somebody told you, you are shy, you are shy, you are shy. Wherever the child goes, everybody tell, this is a shy guy, man, he doesn't talk to everybody. He's a shy guy, man, he don't talk to everybody. He's a shy guy, man. And eventually what it goes into your brain is, after some time he says that, okay, hey, I'm a shy guy, man, I cannot come all those there, I cannot come into party, I am an emotional guy, I will not come here, I'm come there. So he has brought so much of reference point, he made himself as a shy guy. It's not that his potential is not there, right? So the summary of it was, change your pattern. If you can intentionally change your pattern of your thinking, probably you can achieve better things in life. So that is what me and Limi is practicing actually. So we are to practice so many things in house, as Anuradha and Priya, and I think somebody else, Vinita, was telling, right? So they would discuss the blogs and things like that. So we discuss each other. So me and Limi, we read a book, and while sitting on eating in the dinner, or maybe something, we are having a tea. So we'll talk about, okay, I read this book today, and this is the learning what I got. It was really good. This story was good. So basically, it gives me a remembrance. As Ramesh was telling, it remains in my mind. 5 times I talk about it, and that is in my mind. Whenever I require that, I can recall that quickly. So my brain talks, okay, this is the story I need to tell. This is the story I had in my mind about this topic, so that I can take it out. So which will help you in your public speaking as well. When you speak about it, so you can get it. Basically, the fish story, I never had it in my preparation today. So something came out, and I thought, okay, let me tell this story to you. Right? So break your patterns. So whatever you have, it's not, the human potential is not restricted to this huge potential what human has, and we can achieve a lot of things in our life. Okay, that's it from my end, Tessin. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sam. I think Tony Robbins, one of my favorite speakers, I keep telling, and it excites me when I listen. When I hear about him, he always talks about being limitless, and he always talks about breaking the preconceived notions that we have or we've built within ourselves. Yeah, there are lots of it. I think we limit ourselves a lot too, and we have created our own boundaries. But yeah, good talk. Thank you so much, Sam. That has actually awakened a lot of thoughts in me. I'm sure it has done for a lot of people here. We have I'll just ask one question and then we'll close it. If your life were a TV show, what genre would it be? Everyone answer and then good night.
Can you repeat the question?
If your life were a TV show, what genre would it be? Like, what genre would you like it to be? Tricky question. Ramesh laughs or smiles at all my questions and he didn't still answer for his question. Okay. Oh, musical drama. Okay, cute. Everyone, comedy. Okay. Ramesh. Okay, fashion show. Oh, I was expecting this, but not Big Boss. Ramesh. Oh, now you're being witty. Good one. Thank you. News. Thamrai says news. Oh my God. Okay. Intellectual comedy. We have too many comedies. Limi, you're an answer. Thriller. Anirudh, thriller. Okay. I'll put up mine. Limi's thinking. So till then. Mythological. Prafulla. Good spiritual side. Limi is still thinking.
Okay.
Okay. I think we are done. Limi, we will still wait for your answer as in when you think.
I'll also go with mythology.
Mythology.
Veena, art of simple living. Okay. Great.
Okay. I think that is all for today. And thank you so much, everyone. It was a lot of fun, a lot of learning. And it's always great to see you all and make this really, really successful reading club. And thanks a lot. It's been a while. I have not started reading. So I'll start reading next week. I'm going to talk about a book that I'm reading. Thank you so much and good night. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.